Welcome back to the channel. My name is James, and today we're continuing on with our 10 essentials for selling big. I've been teaching sales ethics and tactics for a long time. In fact, that's what I first started out in my career back in the late 90s, early 2000s. And today we're going to continue our series. We're going to talk about leadership. I'm going to try to get through 7 and 8 of the 10-part series today. So what is leadership? Well, defined as guide by persuasion, example or argument, case, evidence, proof, kind of like a lawyer in a courtroom almost, isn't it? Employing tactics and direction for the greater benefit of others. So the idea simplified is the ability to, move people from one place to another, to make a decision, to get up and act in a certain way or move in a certain way that is to the benefit of all concerned. So what's the question? Well, the question is, it's easier to manipulate. Why bother? Well, yes, you're right. It's not easy to be always so diplomatic. I myself am kind of guilty where in the sense that small talk is not my speciality, as it were. It's I'm a substantial conversationalist, and so sometimes you want to get right to the point, but people need to be they need to be walked with instead of confronted a lot. So showing them the pathway as a coach, 24 years at it, showing people the pathway, I've had to learn some lessons along the way that it's easier to kind of walk with them into a place of agreement rather than always driving for the hard decisions. So if you are in sales, you are in leadership. If you are in business, you are in leadership. Whether you like the idea or not, your goal here is to lead people from one place. Whether, if they have a problem or a need for a product, you want to lead them to the best solution or the best product that fits their express needs. So you're in leadership, even in the days when you don't feel comfortable with that idea. So what's the answer? Well, again, in the sales workshop, I have a whole module dedicated to this point right here. Manipulation, intimidation, and domination are considered three means of exercising unnatural forms of control. So we don't need to go into the deep discussion about, how to handle the bullies and how to handle the narcissists and all that. But there are people that are attracted to selling or are attracted to people style industries that do carry these traits in them that, they're good at convincing people by manipulation. And if you do a word study on manipulation, you'll see that it is using means of control to basically get what you want at the other person's expense. So it sounds good and it feels sweet, but it's actually very toxic. And a lot of people actually engage in that. Intimidation is pretty much bullying. It's the higher body language. It's moving forward, the eye contact. The idea is to press down your opponent to make them feel weaker than you. And in business, there's a lot of this tactic that goes on in negotiation. I get that, the chess game of negotiating for your best interest. However, I have found I get the best results, and I think I've referenced another series about seeing your clients as renewable, a client community, people that are going to be with you in the long term. If you want that, then intimidation is not your tactic to use. Domination is very similar. You're trying to push down your opponent, adversary. If you see your clients like that, buyers are liars, kind of as the cliche goes, well, that's the kind of experience that you're going to be in for. You're going to not get a lot of repeat business. People are going to say a negative review about you if that matters to you. So what's the answer? Well, avoid buyer's remorse. Kind of show people some mutual respect. If you want them to appreciate the work that you do and putting into making this sale happen, you need to kind of be able to sow that seed before you reap the harvest. So you need to be able to show your clients respect, because just remember, their goodwill and their money is being parted for something that you offer. Your livelihood depends on how they feel about you, not just the marvelous wonder of your product. I mean, in this world, we can go almost anywhere and get anything. So why do we need you? That's where you have to learn how to be remarkable as a person and develop your character. So think repeat business. So let's move on to the second one. Number 8, talking about networking. Networking defined as FaceTime, consistent meeting, exchange of information, opportunity, and experience. Now, I started out in my business creating communities of networking because I still believe that getting together, gathering as people, there are certain skills that are going to be caught instead of taught. You're going to be able to go and have an experience, right? You can't, you can get into this habit of teaching people into oblivion. There has to be a time, and I try to practice this with all my clients, is I want to push you out into the world and let you go and experience firsthand and come back with a story, because you'll be able to kind of unravel all the lessons that you've learned. And when you've got that, it seems to form a better imprint upon you and creates new habits and new understandings and appreciations. So FaceTime, consistent meeting and exchange of information, opportunity, and experience. But internet, we're here online, and I understand the value of the tools of the internet. But just remember that if you don't understand how to navigate or move, like adapt to conditions, you're going to get caught, because if the internet goes down, your whole business goes down, at least for a time. If you don't know how to utilize the internet, or if you don't know how to raise your standard up to the expectations of internet culture, there are still a lot of people that aren't very savvy at internet work and internet business. And I'm not trying to push it down, because here we are, we're doing this thing, right? I guess what I'm trying to say is, don't get lazy. It's not all about just, can I meet, because there's a lot of people, especially in the last year at the time of this recording, they're getting Zoom fatigued. I've heard that term out there, but they're getting video conference fatigue, and they want to actually sit together and talk one-to-one in a more personal way. So don't dismiss or don't downplay the opportunity to go out and meet somebody, even though now you've gotten used to doing things online. It feels like a lot of effort. Well, it should be. And that tells me as a potential client that I'm worth the effort. So guess what? If I'm worth the effort, you might be worth my money. Think about that. So, consistent interaction is just as important, and it increases the overall value of the experience. Like, if you want people to remark about you, then behave remarkable. If you want them to say good things about you, then behave in a way that's worthy of remark, as I've stated in the earlier parts of the series. So understand this, that business is still about people. You cannot dismiss the need to understand your etiquette, your people skills, your soft skills. You cannot leave those behind just so that you can be arm's length and disassociated, disconnected by doing online business. It is really a both and scenario right now. It's not an either or. So thank you for your time today. This has been a good session. I hope you appreciate it too. Please feel to like and subscribe to the channel, as it really is starting to help us out. And again, at the end of the series, I'm going to talk about our actual dedicated sales program. It's a very short workshop. It's like a couple of days max, like if we did it live as a group. But we also offer it one-to-one. So if you need help in this, you need a better understanding on how to get higher closure rates, or you just need some personal affirmation, some courage along the way, this program might be very, very good for you. So thank you very much. Have a great day.